All right, look, I know it's been a slow couple days in free agency, and I waited till the very last second to see if the Lions would sign anybody extra, and really they haven't. And I'm here to tell you why that is a really good deal. And I think so often we forget about the fact that salary caps are real. People say it's not real. People say it's not. Tell that to the Cleveland Browns. Tell that to the New Orleans Saints. Tell that to a lot of teams that are trying to compete but can't get out from under their salary cap issues. You need to have the right players for you. I think the Detroit Lions did that. I'm going to talk briefly, because I know Chris talked about it yesterday, about the DJ Reed contract and why it's even better than you thought, than I thought. And I'm going to compare it to a former player of ours, Carlton Davis. And I'm going to talk about why I think DJ Reed's deal is so much better. But then I'm going to look into the NFC North, are teams that we have 6 games against every single year. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that they did that seem irresponsible to an extent, or at the same time, talk to you why we still are the kings of the North even in free agency. Brad Holmes has said it. This is my first thing that I'm going to say. You don't need to win. You don't want to make the big news. You don't need to be March and April champions. You need to be champions at the end of the year. Okay. And I understand we didn't win the Super Bowl. I get that. But we went 15-2. We have won the NFC North back-to-back years. We have been to the NFC Championship game, and we got a bye and made it to the NFC divisional round. That is a successful team. That is not a team that has to go out and spend like crazy. You don't build a teams to success by throwing a bunch of money out in the free agent market. I'm going to explain all that. But first, let's look at a couple of things with DJ Reed. First, let's look at his contract, okay? This is honestly pretty great. This is a 3-year, $48 million contract that includes $32 million guaranteed, okay? Great, $16 million a year. My guess is it's basically a 2-year, $32 million contract. We'll find out about what that looks like. Now, I want to look at that in comparison to what happened with Carlton Davis. All right, Carlton Davis went on to sign a 3-year deal that was reportedly $20 million. Now they are saying it's closer to $18 million, depending on what it all looks like, but there's some bonuses and things like that. He has a salary cap hit of 11.7, $20 million, and $22 million in his contract. It's not unusual for those escalators to go later on. I wouldn't be surprised, depending on what they're thinking about spending, if there was more front-loaded in DJ Reed's contract. We'll find out. I always like front-loaded contracts. They never end up being that. So let me ask you this question, because here's some of the things that I think are key. DJ Reed or Carlton Davis. But I'm going to just give you a quick recap, because I want to get into what the other teams in the NFC North are doing and why I think it's a mistake. I would rather have DJ Reed. Why? Durability. That's number one. Number two, he's actually been a better pure cover corner. That's what he's been lately. Now, is the body of work as long as Carlton Davis? No, he came on really in the last 3 years, but in the last 3 years, he has been a top 30 cover corner in the league. That's what he's been. So he is a solid number 2 cover corner. This deal tells me, yep, he can play one in a pinch, but in New York, he played one side and another corner played the other, right? There's a really good corner on the other side of him, Sauce. But Jets fans, a lot of them are saying they miss Reed and they would rather have Reed than Sauce, which is crazy. We'll do that here. That's what we do here too. So you'll be able to see Terry and Arnold on one side, DJ Reed on the other, and they'll try and lock down their side. All right. Now let's talk about some of the other signings for the other teams. And this is where I think the news gets good. I agree. Now, where I work, I'm in West Michigan. All right. I'm in West Michigan. And so I'm going to show this up in a second. I'm in West Michigan. There's Bears fans all over here. They're so annoying. Right. And what happens is they are winning the March Olympics right now. They think they're just doing so great. I mean, look at some of the people that they signed. They got Durham Smythe. They got Jonah Jackson. Hey, Jonah Jackson. You remember him. You remember him. They got Joe Thuney. They got Drew Dahlman. Right. By the way, Drew Dahlman, really good run blocker, horrible pass blocker, just in case anyone's wondering. And they just made him the highest paid center. Dio Odiengbo. They got Grady Jarrett. They are getting a bunch of players, but they're handing out large amounts of money. My big thing has always been, don't get mediocre players and pay them like they're really, really good. That is what they've done in a lot of these things. All right. That is what they have done. I think Drew Dahlman is a good center. He's not a best center in the league center. Jonah Jackson was a good guard. Is he still? Joe Thuney, that's a great signing. I can't argue with that. But then you're paying these other guys. There's a ton of money. They're trying to solve all their problems right here. When they have a GM that's been known for drafting good, they're not sticking to the process. They're trying to fast forward the process. Meanwhile, you have the Lions over here. It's just like, yep, we're going to sign DJ Reed. We're going to bring back Barnes, who we really like. We're going to bring back Davenport cheap. If he's healthy, great. If he's not, we didn't spend too much money. All right, there's a couple of contracts here with both the Packers and the Vikings that I was absolutely shocked by. Aaron Banks, 4 years, $77 million, over $19 million a year for an okay guard. That is dumb, right? Nate Hobbs, nowhere near the caliber of, I don't believe, caliber of corner that DJ Reed is, and he's getting $14 million a year. DJ Reed's getting $16 million. What are we talking about? All right, McManus getting a 3-year contract, getting old. All right, let's look at the Vikings. Will Freeze. Nobody's going to argue that he's not a good guard. $22 million a year for a guard. Wow. That's more than we're paying Taylor Decker. Like, just saying, like, that is crazy. All right. They are throwing around money, and then they go out, they get Jonathan Allen. There are reports that they're going to go get another D tackle, Javon Kinlaw, I've heard, and things like that. Both of those guys are notoriously horrible at stopping the run. It makes no sense. Byron Murphy, $18 million a year, but up to $22 million a year. Like, just spending money like they have it. And I get it. Everybody's probably heard by now St. Brown talking about people are acting like they don't, like they have unlimited money. And I think a lot of people took it as like, oh man, is he not happy with what the Lions are spending? And that's not it. I think he probably realizes exactly what other people do. It's like, at some point you have to stay under this shelf, under this cap. It made sense from the beginning that we do this. We are still the team that was 15-2. Don't forget, the Bears won 6 games last year? They have to make all these signings. We couldn't if we wanted to, but also we already have players. All right, so now their 3 best offensive linemen might be the 3 that they brought in. Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney, and Drew Dahlman. Don't sit here and let that be. Don't get booty blinded, right? Because our 3 best are still Decker, Ragnow, and Sewell. I'd rather have our trifecta. Don't forget that. Oh, they brought in Dio Odiengbo. Great. We still have Hutch. It is still our advantage at every position. And that's what people are forgetting. Everybody gets better over the offseason. The question is, can the good teams maintain or get a little bit better to keep that edge? And I think so far the Lions are doing it, and I don't think they're done. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.